My name is Prashant, and I would like to congratulate you on this 75th Independence Day that we are celebrating on 15th August 2021. This is a big milestone for us as a nation, and I would like to take this opportunity to recap or remind ourselves about this glorious journey that we have seen in these 75 years. When we talk about Independence Day, we always remember our freedom fighters, the struggle, how this nation was built and handed over to the next generation. But what I also believe at the same point of time that we should also remind ourselves about the milestones and achievements that we have accomplished so far. And we should also go back and give this journey to our kids and young generation as well. For example, in 1950 and 51, average income per Indian citizen was somewhere around 7,000 rupees. While in 2011 and 12, it became 63,000 Indian rupees. If you go back and again check the numbers, in 2018 and 19, average income per Indian citizen was somewhere around 92,000 Indian rupees. And in 2020, this has become 95,000 Indian rupees. This is a magnificent improvement. What an achievement for a country. In 75 years, how far we are now. In addition to this, we have seen improvement in agriculture sector, the food grain production. We have seen a green revolution in 1960. India accepted modern technologies, method to produce high yield variety seeds. That has increased food grain production drastically. If I give an example, in 1950 and 51, the net food grain production in India was somewhere around 48 million tons, while presently it is somewhere around 297 million tons. This is about green revolution and the food grain production. But if you look back and see the diversified industry in India, industrial policy 1991, that policy dismantled the industrial licensing system and attracted private sector investment and the foreign investment. Number of vehicles, registered vehicles have gone up. Number of passengers, this is also increasing. Literacy rate is also increasing. If I give you another figure, and the most visible milestone that we see nowadays is infrastructure, road length and transports. Again, for an example, in 1950 and 51, the length of the roads in India was somewhere around 400,000 kilometers, while presently this is 5.89 million kilometers. This is just a very, very big achievement for us. And everyone, the whole world is watching us. And we have so many more years which are coming into the future, and we will achieve more milestone. India has also seen a long way in terms of its human development. Literacy rate has improved from 18.3% in 1950-51 to 52% in 1990, and currently literacy rate in India is somewhere around 74%. It is so I'm feeling really proud when I talk about these numbers. Recently in 2014, we have seen that Make in India campaign, Invest India campaign, Invest India project, and this was to attract foreign direct investment. And one of the proposals that India made in October 14, we have already received somewhere around 20,000 million Indian rupees as an investment. Manufacturing units are being set up in India, which is also giving job opportunities to Indian people, and this is also attracting foreign investment, also improving Indian rupees against American dollar. There are so many benefits that this Make in India campaign has. But through this 75 years of journey, I'm just trying to remind you what we have achieved so far, and I'm really feeling proud when I'm going to celebrate the 75th Independence Day. This is the promise to the future, but reform pace continues as a fast pace with major reforms such as introduction of the landmark goods and service tax, insolvency and bankruptcy code, demonetization, ease of doing business reforms in India. There are so many things, and I'm running short of words when I'm explaining these milestones of my nation. Uh, but I won't take much time here. But that's the overall objective of my message. That this nation is a great nation, and I'm always proud of my nation, and I wish that India and my countrymen they achieve success and more milestones in future as well.
Namaste. This is Priyadashni from Pretoria, South Africa. I'm a doctorate in positive psychology from India, and I'm currently working as learning and development professional in WNS South Africa since 2017. And I'm privileged to be talking about India and its development in tourism over 75 years. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. This excerpt from the landmark speech of Pandit Nehru captures the essence of our freedom from the British Empire at its best. Independence did not come to India served on a silver platter. Rather, it was the culmination of decades and centuries of struggle for freedom by many revolutionaries and sacrifice of countless others that freed India from the British colonialism. Today, as we are gearing up to celebrate 75 years of independence, one should say the achievements of our country has made is remarkable. Many things have changed over the decades, and travel and tourism is one of them. The first conscious and organized efforts to promote tourism in India were made in 1945 when a committee was set up by the government under the chairmanship of Sir John Sergeant, the then educational advisor to the government of India. Thereafter, the development of tourism was taken up in a planned manner in 1956, coinciding with the second five-year plan. The sixth plan marked the beginning of a new era, when tourism began to be considered a major instrument for social integration and economic development. But it was only after the 80s that the tourism activity gained momentum. The government took several significant steps. A national policy on tourism was announced in 1982. The National Committee on Tourism was set up in 1988, which formulated a comprehensive plan for achieving the sustainable growth in tourism. India is a country known for its lavish treatment to all visitors, no matter where they come from. Its visitor friendly traditions, varied lifestyles, cultural heritage, and colorful fairs and festivals hold abiding attractions for the tourists. The other attractions include the beautiful beaches of Goa, forests and wildlife of Kaziranga, and landscapes for ecotourism, snow, river, and mountain peaks of Himalayas for adventure tourism, technological parks and science museums for science tourism, centers of pilgrimage for spiritual tourism, heritage trains and hotels for heritage tourism. Yoga, Ayurveda, and natural health resorts and hill stations also attract tourists. Today, tourism is the largest service industry in India with a contribution of 9 to 10% to the national GDP and providing 8% of the total employment. India witnesses more than 10 million annual foreign tourist arrivals and 2,321 million domestic tourism visits. The tourism industry in India generated about 30 billion US dollars by 2019 at a 6% annual growth rate. However, these figures have seen a decline due to the pandemic. The Ministry of Tourism is the nodal agency for the development and promotion of tourism in India and maintains the Incredible India campaign. As per the Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Report 2019 by the World Economic Forum, India is ranked 34th overall on the list of the world's attractive destinations. Today, on the occasion of our 75th Independence Day of India, let's take a sneak peek at the colossal picture of the ongoing and upcoming developments in Indian travel and tourism. India's first wax museum, like Madame Tussauds in London, is coming up in Kolkata, which is named after Mother Teresa. Indian Railways on a ride for the better. Train travel in India is an altogether different experience these days. Thanks to the evolution of locomotive engineering and technology for Gatiman Express, India's fastest train from Delhi to Agra, running at a speed of 160 km per hour. Pilgrimage is no exception to the developments in India on the travel and tourism front. The newly laid Katra Udhampur railway track has made pilgrimage to the hilltop Vaishnav Devi shrine in Jammu and Kashmir easier than before. Being a democratic country, India is keen on developing Buddhist tourism. The state government of Maharashtra has shown interest in the ambitious project, which is currently limited to identifying the Buddhist spots to be developed across the country. The International Yoga Festival, held annually in Rishikesh, receives almost 2,000 participants from 100 of 200 countries. The Pushkar Fair of Rajasthan attracts anywhere between 200,000 to 400,000 pilgrims over a 2 week period every year. And the Kumbh Mela, which is considered the largest conglomeration of religious pilgrims, witnesses millions in attendance. Amritsar, Ajmer, Fatehpur Sikri, Goa, Velangani, Fort Kochi, Srirangam, Tirupati, Rameshwaram, Tanjavur, Varanasi, and Puri, to name a few, are popular religious spots for tourism in India. Government is trying to promote Krishna Circuit as a major tourist attraction under Swadesh Darshan scheme. It's named after Lord Krishna and is centered on him. Under it, 12 destinations spread across 5 states have been proposed. The Ramayana circuit covers Ayodhya, the birthplace of Lord Rama, weaving its way through 15 sites of importance across 9 states, ending in Rameshwaram, from where the Ramasetu bridge extends to Sri Lanka. The Buddhist circuit is a route that follows the footsteps of Buddha from Lumbini in Nepal, where he was born, through Bihar in India, where he attained enlightenment, to Sarnath and Kushinagar in Uttar Pradesh in India, where he gave his first teachings and died. The Buddhist circuit is also an important pilgrimage destination for 450 million practicing Buddhists, as well as travelers interested in history, culture, and religion. To accelerate the efforts to achieve a Swachh Bharat and bring focus on hygiene and sanitation, Ministry of Tourism has set up a project monitoring unit for Swachh Bharat mission in 2015. During the financial year 2020-2021, due to the COVID pandemic, Ministry of Tourism carried out Swachh Action Plan activities on a VC mode through webinars, audiovisuals at 55 sites to create awareness among school and college students and stakeholders of tourist centers. India offers e-tourist visa to 155 countries. With e-tourist visa to India available for the nationals of the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, and China, the inbound tourism of India has taken a great leap for the better. Wi-Fi and online ticketing available for heritage monuments. Tourism development in India has taken to heritage properties as well. Online ticketing has been implemented to facilitate hassle-free visit to India's most popular heritage monuments, including the Taj Mahal, the Agra Fort, the Qutub Minar, and the likes. Wi-Fi at public places is a new cool in India. More and more travelers reach to the Wi-Fi internet facility, which is being extended across Indian railway stations. 16 Indian railway stations are to get premium lounges with airport lounge-like facilities at affordable rates. Hospitality at these railway stations is about to reach the next level. The launch of Incredible India helplines for domestic and international women tourists is one of the remarkable developments in Indian travel and tourism niche. Currently available in 2 languages, English and Hindi, the Incredible India helplines will be rolled out in 12 international languages pretty soon. The state tourism of Tamil Nadu, which is globally famous for its temples, has planned to introduce helicopter services for foreign tourists in the state. The God's own country, Kerala, has launched water taxis and AC boats on backwaters in a bid to fetch more luxury tourists. Odisha, a coastal state of India on the Bay of Bengal, is supposed to get India's second rock garden. New tourist attractions across India. Tourism developments in India include innovations being implemented across the country. Gwalior, a historical city in the Indian state of Madhya Pradesh, is to set up a museum on Rani Lakshmi Bai, whose name is remembered for her bravery in the revolt of 1857. Udaipur, a heritage city in Rajasthan, has got a new tourist attraction, and that is India's biggest telescope, the Multi Application Solar Telescope. Mumbai is the first Indian city to be proposed for a floating hotel. We can also boast of the Statue of Unity dedicated to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, which is the world's tallest statue with a height of 182 meters in the state of Gujarat. Indian government has decided to convert the houses of George Orwell and Rudyard Kipling, two eminent authors in English literature, into museums for all the literature lovers. The vast landscape of this country is bejeweled with the most diversified people, culture, and terrains. It's a paradise for travelers who love to explore the world in its different avatars, from snow capped mountains of the north to the picturesque locales in Deccan, from the exotic escapades in the east to the royal and majestic architecture in the west. India is one country that blankets every facet of wonder within its periphery. As we embark on 75th year of independence, we would want to welcome people from all over the world to come and explore our country, which is decked with beauty in every nook and corner. Jai Hind.
Congratulations and a very, very happy 75th Independence Day to all citizens and friends of India. India has made leaps and bounds in all aspects from the time it has gained its independence. Today, I would like to touch on India's journey in the healthcare and pharmaceutical sector and the strategic role it actually plays in today's world. India is already a giant in the healthcare and pharmaceutical sector globally. However, if you dig deeper into the history, India has actually always had a leading reputation in the medical field. It recognized the use of exercises, medicines, and surgeries for physical, mental, and spiritual well being. It has been 75 years of India's independence, but the country had 5,000 plus years of wellness history that was left in shambles when the British left. Since then, India has made great strides in rebuilding its healthcare infrastructure and increase the well being of its citizens. Some basic health indicators reveal this remarkable transformation. The infant mortality rate has decreased from 18% to below 3%. The maternal mortality rate has decreased from 2% to under 0.2%, while the life expectancy has doubled from 32 years at the time of independence to 66 plus years currently. India contributes immensely to the medical professional fraternity. India has the second highest number of doctors in the world, estimated at 1.2 million recently, more than doubling its number from 550,000 in the year 2000. In US, approximately 9% of the physicians are of Indian ethnicity. Often referred to as pharmacy of the world, India is a leader in global generic pharmaceuticals manufacturing. The pharmaceutical industry in India includes a network of 3,000 drug companies and 10,500 manufacturing units. It manufactures 20% of all generic drugs manufactured globally and exports to 200 countries. India has the largest number of US FDA approved facilities outside the US. Indian companies have over 3,400 US drug master filings for generic drugs, the highest from any country in the world. In recent times, healthcare has been a major reason for tourists to visit India. India has grown as a hub of medical tourism, with an increase in the number of tourists every year. The prime reason being the cost of medical treatment in India being cheaper when compared to the other countries in Western Europe, North America, and even some Southeast Asian countries. The Indian pharmaceutical sector supplies over 50% of global demand for various vaccines. India is also the largest manufacturer of the anti-HIV medicines globally, with about a 30% market share. Several Indian companies supply AIDS drugs to global agencies like the Global Fund, the government of various African countries, Gavi, and even the World Health Organization. The world has been looking up to India to leverage its superior vaccine manufacturing capacities for global welfare. India houses the world's largest vaccine manufacturing facility. Since the development of COVID-19 vaccines, India began the Vaccine Maitri program as a humanitarian initiative by adopting the principles of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family, which resonates very much with the South African philosophy of Ubuntu. India has since been at the center stage of global recovery from the pandemic, having gifted and supplied to over 75 countries and 66 plus million vaccines just between January and May this year. This massive international initiative is being complemented by India's ambitious domestic vaccination campaign, and it has now vaccinated over 500 million of its residents with at least one single dose. From supplying hydroxychloroquine to more than 100 nations and providing over 66 million doses to more than 75 countries, India's imprint on global health has been substantive. Be it yoga, which combined body postures, breathing techniques, and self-discipline to stay fit and achieve mental peace, or the work of Sushrut, the father of surgery who has described over 300 surgical procedures and over 120 surgical instruments, or be it the science of longevity, Ayurveda, a system of medicine solely based on herbs and herbal compounds. The basis of modern medicine still boils down to the wisdom of Indian wellness practices of years gone by. So today, at India's 75th Independence Day, I wish everyone a very happy and healthy future. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
India is humbled that vaccines made in India are going around the world. We want to heal as well as help humanity.
The solidarity that India has demonstrated is an indication of both our deep historical relationship and the promise of two democracies working in this region together. Let me thank Prime Minister Modi and all the government of India for this exceptional act of solidarity and generosity.
One would have thought and understood that in a global pandemic such as this, a nation's size and might would have been the primary considerations. But it is to the credit of Prime Minister Modi that our request was considered on merit and the equality of our people was recognized.
Quiero agradecer al primer ministro Narendra Modi y al pueblo de India la invaluable donación de 200,000 vacunas Covishield. Este gesto de amistad permitirá salvar la vida de miles de guatemaltecos. Especialmente nos ayudará a continuar con el proceso de inmunización del personal de salud que trabaja en la atención directa a los pacientes con COVID-19. Nuestro respeto y admiración hacia el pueblo de la India se renueva con esta muestra de generosidad. Dani Abad.
We have our first tranche of vaccines, 50,000 doses, thanks to the selflessness, thanks to the kindness, thoughtfulness of the people of India. And I again wish to thank my good friend Prime Minister Modi for his consideration of Jamaica as one of the countries that should benefit from the vaccines.
And on behalf of the people of the Caribbean in particular, I wish to take this opportunity to personally thank Prime Minister Modi and the government of India for this act of benevolence.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the government and people of India for the generous donation of the vaccines to we the people of Guyana.
Hoću da se zahvalim i Narendri Modiju, indijskom premijeru, da se zahvalim doktoru Jaishankuru, ministru spoljnih poslova Indije koji je bio angažovan na ovome.
Нарендра Моди болон гадаад улсын сайд стратегиар Монгол улсын засгийн газар Монголын ард түмний чин сэтгэлийн гадаалтыг дамжуулж өгнө гэмээр хүсэж байна.
I mean, India is one of the most advanced pharmaceutical industries. The production capacity of India is one of the best assets the world has today, and I hope the world understands that it must be fully used.
Thank you.
नमस्कार मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, आप सभी को स्वतंत्रता दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। I wish you a very happy Independence Day to all my fellow Indians. Today I am here to talk about a space and defense progress post-independence. After India gained independence from British occupation in 1947, Indian scientists and political leaders recognized the potential of rocket technology in both defense and research and development. Recognizing that India as a demographically large as India would require its own independent space capabilities and early potential of satellite in the field of remote sensing and communication. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai was the founding father of Indian space program and considered as a scientific visionary by many ways and a national hero. India decided to go space when Indian Community for Space and Research was set up by Government of India in 1962 by Dr. Vikram Sarabhai at its helm. In COSPER, set up in Thumpa Equatorial Rocket Launching Station in Thiruvananthapuram for upper atmospheric research. In 1969, India Research Organization was set up and headquartered in Bangalore. Aryabhat as an Indian first satellite named after the famous Indian astronomer. It was launched on 1975 from Kubustin Yar Soviet rocket launch and development site in Astrakhan Oblast using Cosmos 3M launch vehicle. India concentrated more on practical mission directly beneficial to people instead of managed space program and robotic space exploration. SLV, India, the first satellite launch vehicle, the first indigenous satellite launch by India was called Rohini 1. The following success of SLV, ISRO was taken to begin the construction of satellite vehicle and would be able to put truly useful satellite into polar orbit. Game changer initiative for space and defense in 1990 onwards. The arrival of PSLV in 90s became a major boost for Indian space program. In 1993, the time has come for maiden flight of the PSLV. The first launch was failure. The First successful launch took place in 1994, placing both remote sensing and communication satellite into the orbit, creating the largest cluster in the world, providing unique data of Indian industry and agriculture. PSLV has a streak of more 50 successful flight and most powerful launch vehicle in the operation of first development flight of GSLV took place in 2001. A breakthrough mission for India nuclear test 1998. The Pokhran second test was series of 5 nuclear bomb test explosion conducted by India at the Indian Army Pokhran test range in 1998. In 1998, nuclear test began the process of the world to acknowledge the India as a responsible nuclear power. Today, ISRO holds the world record of sending the largest number of satellites in this space, around 104 to 101, from own PSLV greatness, found achieved with when ISRO, after success of Chandrayaan-1, became the first country of successful land in the Mars in our very first attempt, Mangalyaan 24 September 2014. Chandrayaan-2 was also a mass success, becoming the first country to make the land on the moon, South Pole, and detect the water even on moon. Today, India collaborated with many countries in the field of space and defense. India has launched 342 satellites for 36 different countries as of 28 February 2021. As of 2019, India's Space Research Organization and Indian Government Space Agency in India launched all research and commercial projects. ISRO today ranked 5th in the world and creating a satellite more effective and economically, to which made the world go a best track. India has studied, produced, and used a various strategic and tactical missile systems. Decade-long projects have realized development of all types of missile systems, including ballistic, cruise, anti-ship, air defense, air-to-air, and anti-missile system. India of 7 countries in the world with the ICBM and one of 4 countries with the anti-ballistic missile system. Since 2016, India has been the member of Missile Technology Control and Research. Today, India take initiative of making own missiles and manufacture all defense equipments. Made in India missile big hits across the globe shows interest in the buying BrahMos and Akash. The government of India receiving a proposal of Indian-Russian joint venture of BrahMos missile from the diverse Asian countries. BrahMos has been developed a $300 million. Despite the interest of Asian countries, including Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, for buy the BrahMos missile. To strengthen the India defense system, ISRO had launched EMISA for DRDO intelligence satellite. RISAT, Israel-based radar satellite, was also built to strengthen the defense protocol of India. To further strengthen and take the India completely different level of technology, ISRO launched a mission of Shakti, leaving the world go dumbstruck with the recent achievement and destroying satellite. Hence, the India mastered the technology of anti-satellite. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Namaskar. On the occasion of the 75th year of independence of India, I would like to wish all my fellow Indian citizens a very happy Independence Day. आप सबको स्वतंत्रता दिवस की बहुत 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 बधाई. Now, I'm talking about the development and the achievements of Indian sports post the independence decades, and I can't be starting this discussion without mentioning the stalwarts of Indian sports. And I'm talking about names like Milkha Singh, Mihir Sen, Syed Abdul Rahim, Major Dhyan Chand, Kashabhai Jadhav, Ramanathan Krishnan, to name a few. And these were the ones who inspired the generations of sportsmen in India to come through. And from there on, the flag bearers of the Indian sports were names like Prakash Padukone in badminton, Kapil Dev in cricket, Vishwanathan Anand in chess, Abhinav Bindra in shooting, P.T. Usha in track and field, just to name a few. And these are the people who have created magic throughout the Indian sporting timeline, which continue to inspire the sportsmen of today. I mean, who can forget the magic that the Indian World Cup, Cricket World Cup wins of 1983 and 2012 has done for the Indian cricket. I mean, it's put the Indian cricket at the global center stage. I talk about names like Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, Saurav Ganguly, Virat Kohli, Javagal Srinath, Anil Kumble, just to name a few. I mean, these people have become an example or icons or people who the youngsters, the cricketing youngsters of today look forward to. And I'm not talking about the youngsters from India. It's the global youngsters who look forward to these people today. And it's been a fantastic achievement for India. We also have to see the contribution of women in the sporting scene. And I think that started most impactfully with someone like P.T. Usha, who has done wonders for the Indian track and field achievements, and she's known globally as well. And P.T. Usha then inspired other women like Anju Bobby George, Kanna Malleshwari for weightlifting, Mary Kom, who doesn't know her, for boxing. Sania Mirza made tennis famous in India, and Sania Nehwal, badminton, and Aditi Ashok recently, who finished fourth at the Olympic stage in golf. So this speaks a lot about the freedom and the place for women in the Indian sporting arena. It's a place where both men and women have equal opportunities and can perform at the same level. We can talk about someone like Hima Das. She came from a very impoverished, rural, poor background, yet she had the opportunities and she had the development arena for herself that she could actually perform at a global stage. And people in athletics, track and field, and gymnastics know her by name, not only in India but globally. I'll give you a small example, and that will tell you the journey that the Indian sporting scene has taken from history. Not many of you would know that the Indian football team at one point in time was ranked 4th in the world, and I'm talking about the 50s. In fact, FIFA had invited the Indian football team to participate in the 1950 World Cup without even playing the qualification rounds, and that's because the standard of the Indian football was such at that time. The sad part or the unfortunate part of that invitation was that India could not go, and the reason being the lack of financial resources and the support from the authorities. From there, if we speak today, and we see the kind of resources and the kind of funds that are available for sports in India. I mean, talk about leagues like IPL, the Indian Hockey League, Hockey India League, the Pro Kabaddi League, the Indian Super League for football, the Premier Badminton League, the Indian Golf League, the Pro Wrestling League, and you can go on naming some of these leagues. And all of these leagues are cash rich. They have following, they have sponsors, they have a lot of resources at avail. And these leagues have also started a very good economic impact on the Indian sporting and as well as the regular scene as well. I mean, talk about the money that goes into the hospitality, sporting equipment, commercials, communications, all of these. I mean, it's a very well woven and cash rich economic kind of a bubble that has been created. So if you go back and look ponder over those years where India could not perform at some of these global stages to today where India is one of the prime names when it comes to the commercialization of sports in the world, it's been a fantastic achievement. And the youngsters of today will have or are rather having reason to create a career in sports because they know that apart from the fact that they would be doing it for India and for themselves, there's actually money to be made in the field. There's actually a sustenance that they can provide to their families and themselves and look forward for a future for themselves. And why only the youngsters? You talk about the yesteryear sportsmen who are now getting enough opportunities to be coaches in many of these leagues for hundreds of teams that are playing in these leagues. So there has been job opportunity created not only for the youngsters but also for the seniors of sports. And that too, I think, has been a fantastic achievement for Indian sporting scene. Now, speaking of sports, we can't alienate the importance and the emphasis on the mental and the physical health of the athletes and the sportsmen. I mean, I am reminded of a wonderful content by the Incredible India campaign that was called the Yogi of the Racetrack, and it's available on YouTube, and all of you must have a look at it as well. It is the story of a motorcycle rider, a competitive motorcycle rider, how he lives through speed and finds slowness and calmness through yoga in order to gain maximum from that speed. It's a wonderful story. It tells about the stillness of mind that can help achieve the going further of a sports person. So that's what yoga does to a sports person, and not only to a sports person but for the common inhabitants of the earth as well. We are in times of environmental degradation. We are in time of challenging aspects of global warming and everything that's around us. I think yoga as a practice tells us about the coexistence that we are in other elements of nature on this earth, and also of the inner consciousness that we need to develop to be able to prove worthy of our existence on this earth. So along with the adoption of the 21st of June as the World Yoga Day around the world, we can fairly and very confidently say that yoga has not remained as an Indian practice today, but it has actually become a global asset, and that itself is a remarkable achievement. And I think the most important influence of the development of sports in India has actually been Indians themselves. I mean, the citizens of India, not only in India but across the globe. They have supported the disciplines that they love individually fantastically. They have backed up the sportsmen that they love. They have created that discussion forums. They have created those debates. They have created those appreciations for people who have made it to the top, and not only the people who have made it to the top, but people who are actually starting into the various disciplines of sports as well. So a big shout out to all the citizens of India, all the people of India. You must continue to support the youngsters that are coming down the line, and the journey has just begun for all of them. And of course, the more we support them, the more they develop, and the more we ourselves will be proud of the achievements of sports in India.
तुझे नमस्ते धरती तुझे नमन, शुक्रिया वायु तेरा,
धन्यवाद गगन,
कोश कोश का अभिनंदन, श्वास श्वास में हो चंदन, विश्व एक परिवार ने
स्वतंत्रता दिवस के इस पावन अवसर पर मेरी सभी देशवासियों को हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। A very happy Independence Day to all my fellow Indians. And this year it is special because we are celebrating 75th year. Since the onset of civilization, technical innovations have been continuously reshaping and evolving the world that we are living in. Since the establishment of Takshila University, Indian continent has been at the core of the global knowledge center. And talking about recent years, technological evolution is rapidly changing the way the world is conducting itself. Exponential advancement across domains like Internet of Things, machine learning, artificial intelligence, virtual reality is actually impacting every aspect of human life. And India is still continuing to be the leader in the global map. Software developed by Indian companies are actually present in every commercial domains, like for example cars, banking sector, FMCG sectors, you name it, and India is there all over the world. The Indian software industry has associated the adoption of digital technologies within the common mass across the country. With smartphone-enabled apps of various applications, the next generation of Indian technology companies such as Flipkart, Ola, Swiggy are actually helping millions of small and medium business and individual workers such as the cab drivers or the delivery personals move into the formal economy. Most of these systems are being developed by indigenous IT companies, and many of them are also maintained and supported by them. Examples include the Ministry of Corporate Affairs system for corporate tax filing, the income tax management system including e-filing of the tax, the entire Indian stack of digital infrastructure and the digital infrastructure, the goods and services tax system, and the passport system, the Indian Rail Reservation Act system that actually books like over 200 million tickets annually. The Aadhaar system, the unique identification infrastructure, is the largest in the world. Indian tech companies are also empowering the country's 60 million small and medium businesses by actually digitally enabling their operations. This is also having a direct impact on the India's per capita income, which is expected to cross like $3,500 by 2025 from the current like around $2,000. This will increase the discretionary spending power of the population, creating a huge consumer market, potentially triggering the next wave of digital entrepreneurship, building India-focused technology. Taking wings, Indian IT firms have established development centers in over 80 countries around the world. The large Indian IT companies such as TCS, Infosys, Wipro, L&T, and Tech Mahindra are now like multinationals in their own right. Many have significant development centers in other regions like United States, Mexico, China, Europe, and Australia, employing thousands of software engineers and managers. The Indian IT industry is estimated to employ over 40,000 locals in the United States alone. The world is aware of India's technological powers and is actively looking to make investment from a partnership and tap India's bursting technological ecosystem. Online retailing, cloud computing, and e-commerce are and will continue to contribute to the speedy growth of IT industry. The rate of growth in IT industry from 2019 till 2020 is approximately 10%. The sector has increased its contribution to India's GDP from 1.2% in 1998 to 8% in 2020. India has now a global seat in the IT sector. The industry has generated $177 billion in revenue and more than $135 billion in export in financial year 2018 to 2019 alone. The Indian IT industry is expected to touch $300 to $350 billion mark revenue in the next 5 years, growing at a steady rate of 10% per year. With concentrated effort by the entire ecosystem, including Indian IT companies, multinational startups, and the government, India has the potential to further establish its standing as a world leader in the software sector. The Indian IT sector is in a unique position to lead global technology innovations over the next decades.
A billion dreams, and behind each, there is an idea. Launching a startup is a dream for many entrepreneurs today, and our Honorable Prime Minister's vision is a guiding light.
हिंदुस्तान का कोई जिला, हिंदुस्तान का कोई ब्लॉक ऐसा ना हो कि आने वाले दिनों में नए स्टार्टअप शुरू ना हुए.
Startup India, an initiative of the Government of India that promotes entrepreneurship by nurturing, mentoring, and facilitating startups throughout their life cycle. January 2016 saw the launch of the Action Plan, a big step to help entrepreneurs get started.
We have a tech startup idea but don't know where to begin.
Honestly, I have no business background but don't know where to go for advice.
The Startup India Hub is a unique platform that addresses your requirements. It identifies and approaches the right mentors, incubators, accelerators and investors.
And you can access all of this through the Startup India app or the website.
Dad said ऐसे startup शुरू नहीं हो जाता, business करना आता भी है. Well, आता तो नहीं था, but then I took the free Startup India learning program and here I am.
Protecting the idea is very important, but how do I start? The government appointed facilitator helped me find my patents for almost no cost.
आइडिया और फंडिंग से स्टार्टअप शुरू नहीं होते. गवर्नमेंट रिक्वायरमेंट्स का पेपर वर्क और सरकारी दफ्तरों में भागा दौड़ी, इसका खर्चा कहाँ से आएगा?
Startup India understands this and helps entrepreneurs self-certify for compliance under 6 labor and 3 environment laws, and several states are in adherence. Guidance and mentorship is great, but a startup needs the right resources to grow. This is why academia and the industry have been brought together to set up research parks, incubators and startup centers across the country. Let's look at biotechnology today. Bioclusters and bioincubators are being set up at major national research institutes and universities to help startups in every possible way. We know funding is a big roadblock for startups. The government has created a fund of funds that will help startups gain access to funding.
Entrepreneurs will no longer face the challenge of initial profitability. The exemption under the Startup India initiative gives you a 3-year tax holiday out of a block of 7 years. You can reinvest the capital, really make your business big.
Businesses fail all the time. Startup India helps you wind up your business in 90 days and move on to your next thing.
We are committed to promote entrepreneurship, innovation and startups in the country. We have taken a number of steps and initiatives to strengthen the ecosystem for startups, and we are committed to doing whatever is required to be done to further promote this ecosystem and provide our entrepreneurs and the young people with the opportunities that they require.
Spirit of entrepreneurship begins early, and Atal Tinkering Labs at school level encourage this very spirit. Plus, many programs help at the college level too.
The government is constantly moving forward, but with the inputs which come from people. The government is going to be an honest facilitator. We want to make sure that the startups are not going to be wondering as to who's going to help them. We are here. Access us for information, access us for suggestions, and access us also tell us that we should do things better this way or that. We are here to help you. We want you to succeed as a good startup entrepreneur. We are with you.
With Startup India by your side, why wait? Come on, India, let's start up. Get recognized with Startup India because we are here to help.